Hey everyone, welcome to Taurus Astro. Today we are going to analyze Darakaraka. The Darakaraka planet plays a central role in Jaimini and Vedic astrology. It represents your spouse or long-term life partner and is essential in understanding your relationship destiny. This planet is the one with the lowest degree among the 7 Jaimini Karakarakas, excluding Rahu and Ketu. The qualities of this planet reflect what your future partner will be like, their personality, attitude in relationships, and the role they'll play in your life. Studying the Darakaraka can reveal powerful insights. It shows how your partner behaves, how they love, and how your connection with them is shaped in this lifetime. But these traits are not random. They're often rooted in your past life karmas. The nakshatra where the Darakaraka is placed acts as a doorway to those karmic patterns. Nakshatras carry the subtle energies of your past life debts and lessons. This is why, when you analyze a birth chart using nakshatras, you can reach very deep layers of the person's life path. The Darakaraka doesn't work alone. The 7th house, the lord of the 7th house, and planets placed in it are equally important. Together, they form the foundation of your relationship themes. If we only look at the Darakaraka and ignore the 7th house, the reading will be incomplete. But when the Darakaraka and the 7th lord align or support each other in the chart, their influence becomes even more powerful, and the picture becomes clearer. For example, let's consider someone with Cancer rising. That makes Saturn the 7th house lord. Now imagine that Mercury is also the Darakaraka in this chart. This shows that the relationship will carry both Saturnian and Mercurial traits. There might be structure, maturity, and patience from Saturn, and at the same time, communication, wit, and learning from Mercury. If both planets are in good dignity and support each other by aspect or conjunction, it creates harmony and strength in the relationship. The house placement of the Darakaraka tells us which areas of life the partner will impact most. For instance, if your Darakaraka is in the 10th house, your partner may strongly influence your career, public image, or professional goals. If it's in the 4th house, the focus might be on emotional support, home, and building a family. The planet acting as Darakaraka also brings its own flavor. If Jupiter is your Darakaraka and it sits in the 9th house, the relationship may center around shared values, philosophy, or spiritual growth. If Mars is the Darakaraka in the 5th house, there might be passion, dynamic energy, and a focus on children or creative projects. Each planet brings a different kind of relationship experience. One especially important connection is between the Darakaraka and the Atmakaraka, the planet that represents your soul's deepest desire and life purpose. When these two planets are in strong relationship, whether by conjunction, aspect, or sign exchange, it shows that your partner plays a key role in helping you fulfill your soul mission. The marriage becomes not just emotional or romantic, but also spiritually meaningful. Now let's talk about nakshatras. These lunar mansions are incredibly important because they carry the blueprint of your past karmas. When a planet like your Darakaraka is placed in a specific nakshatra, it reflects the kind of karmic connection you have with your partner. The mythology, ruling deity, and symbolism of the nakshatra all contribute to the qualities of your spouse and your shared experience. They offer deep insight into your partner's psychology, motivations, and even spiritual tendencies. Let's take a different example. Suppose your Darakaraka is the moon, and it is placed in Aries in the 11th house, within the Bharani nakshatra. This placement suggests a partner who is emotional, nurturing, but also bold and determined. The 11th house adds themes of friendship, shared goals, and community-based love. Bharani nakshatra, ruled by Venus and connected to the god Yama, brings themes of intense transformation, responsibility, and maturity. This can indicate a relationship that transforms you deeply, with themes of loyalty and emotional intensity. The strength of the Darakaraka is also essential. If the planet is debilitated, combust, or receiving harsh aspects, then it may bring difficulties in relationships, delays, misunderstandings, or emotional challenges. If it is a natural malefic and also afflicted, it could indicate separation, power struggles, or karmic tests through the partner. But if it's strong, exalted, or supported by benefics, it can bring fulfillment, loyalty, and long-lasting love. To identify your Darakaraka's nakshatra, you'll need your full Vedic birth chart, including exact birth time. If you're not sure how to find that information, it's always a good idea to consult with a skilled Vedic astrologer or use a trusted astrology platform. In conclusion, the Darakaraka planet reveals a lot about your long-term partner. It shows how they will behave in the relationship, what qualities they'll bring, and how the connection will evolve. But to truly understand your relationship path, you must study the Darakaraka together with the 7th house, its lord, and planetary aspects. Every chart tells a unique story, and every Darakaraka placement holds karmic meaning. Now that we understand the full role of Darakaraka and how it works in your chart, we're ready to explore what it means when this planet is placed in each of the 27 nakshatras. Let's begin. When your Darakaraka falls in Ashwini nakshatra, it means your future partner will carry the unique qualities of this nakshatra. Ashwini is ruled by Ketu and symbolized by the head of a horse, representing speed, action, and a pioneering spirit. This nakshatra is known for being fast, dynamic, and spiritually charged. It also holds healing energy, as it is associated with the Ashwini Kumars, the celestial twin healers of the gods. Your partner will likely be someone with strong healing abilities. This healing gift may show up in different ways, through traditional medicine as a doctor or surgeon, or in more spiritual forms as a counselor, energy healer, therapist, or guide. Their connection to healing is deeply rooted in past life karma. Influenced by Ketu's spiritual energy, they may be highly intuitive and drawn to careers that involve helping others through either medical science or spiritual practices like meditation and yoga. Ashwini also brings a dual personality. Your spouse may show contrasting behaviors. They could be kind and helpful one moment, and suddenly distant or irritable the next. They might shift between being serious and playful, calm and intense, silent and expressive. This contrast is part of what makes them exciting, but it can also make the relationship challenging. Their energy is fast-moving. They may love action, speed, and adventure, whether through physical activities, martial arts, or even extreme sports. This is because Ashwini lies in the Aries sign, which is ruled by Mars, adding ambition, drive, and intensity to their nature. They will be doers, people who act first and think later. This impulsiveness can make them restless or impatient, but it also gives them courage and confidence. Your partner may take risks, embrace new challenges easily, and show a strong sense of determination. This can sometimes come across as inconsiderate or reckless, but it's simply their natural instinct to move forward and take action quickly. If Ketu's influence is strong, they might also feel deeply connected to spiritual paths and ancient wisdom. They could be seekers of truth, always looking to understand life at a deeper level. This search for meaning might lead them to explore research, investigation, occult sciences, or mystical traditions. Their intuition will guide them, and they might prefer careers where this deep inner knowing is an asset, like psychology, astrology, or alternative medicine. In relationships, Ashwini brings speed and change. So, your connection with this person might have sudden beginnings, quick developments, and unexpected turns. At times, there could be abrupt detachment or intense bonding. It's important for this relationship to have both spiritual and physical connection. Without deep emotional bonding, loyalty, and shared values, there's a risk of sudden separation or disconnection. But when there is mutual trust, intimacy, and emotional depth, this relationship can be incredibly strong. Exciting and fulfilling, they are likely to be deep thinkers, intuitive, and guided by a desire to explore the unseen or mysterious sides of life. Their mind is sharp, and they could do very well in fields like technology, research, investigation, or any profession that demands insight and inner clarity. They are knowledge seekers, truth lovers, and often driven by a sense of purpose. To understand the full picture, it's essential to study the planet that is your Darakaraka, the aspects it receives, its house placement, and any conjunctions. These details will reveal more about your partner's personality, energy, and the kind of relationship you will experience. In the end, having your Darakaraka in Ashwini Nakshatra means your spouse will be bold, adventurous, and healing in nature. They will bring movement, spontaneity, and depth to your life. While they may challenge you with their unpredictability, They will also inspire you with their energy, wisdom, and passion. This relationship will thrive on loyalty, spiritual connection, and shared excitement for life. If your Darakaraka or seventh lord is placed in Bharani nakshatra, it reveals a great deal about your future partner's personality, desires, and emotional needs in a relationship. Bharani nakshatra is ruled by Venus, a planet of love, beauty, and pleasure, but it falls in the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars, a planet of passion, impulsiveness, and drive. This creates a dual energy where your partner will be loving and nurturing, yet intense and potentially unpredictable. Bharani is symbolized by the womb, which represents creation, nourishment, and life itself. It also holds a deep connection with endings, symbolized by Yama, the god of death, who rules this nakshatra. This creates a unique personality in your partner, someone who is capable of deep compassion, nurturing tendencies, and emotional care, but also someone who can be strict, unyielding, and unforgiving if their trust is broken. In a relationship, this means your partner will be incredibly loving and supportive, as long as the foundation of the relationship is built on complete trust and emotional security. Just as an unborn child feels safe and protected in the mother's womb, your partner needs to feel that same level of loyalty and safety in the relationship. If you are able to maintain honesty and emotional fidelity, your relationship can flourish. However, if there's any breach of trust, whether through lies, infidelity, or emotional distance, their loving nature can instantly turn cold. They may become unforgiving and emotionally distant, and this can even lead to a sudden breakup or separation. Just like death, which comes without warning, sudden shifts or endings can happen if their emotional boundaries are violated. The influence of Bharani also shows your partner may have a strong connection to professions or interests related to healing, psychology, or the occult. They may also be drawn to careers in the healthcare industry or creative arts. Their talents may include intuitive or spiritual abilities, artistic expression, and a natural gift for caregiving. Because Bharani is associated with the female reproductive system and childbirth, your partner might be interested in subjects like fertility, pregnancy, or early childhood. They could find themselves emotionally connected to topics around nurturing life and exploring the mystery of birth and death. Your partner will likely have a deep fascination with the metaphysical, things like reincarnation, the afterlife, and the spiritual journey of the soul. This interest can manifest in their reading, hobbies, or professional work. They will be someone who thinks deeply about the cycle of life and death and may express this through art, conversation, or personal beliefs. In terms of their sexual nature, your partner may start off very reserved, especially in their early years. They may be private or cautious about expressing their sexual side. But as they grow older and gain confidence, they will become more open and explorative. If you meet them in their later years, you might be surprised by how adventurous they are sexually and emotionally. This shift from innocence to experience is a key part of their personal evolution. Their personality will be full of contrasts. At times they may seem wise, and at other times naive. They can be joyful one moment and deeply emotional the next. This duality is not confusion, it is depth. It reflects the powerful extremes of Bharani nakshatra. They may also use language or expressions that hint at endings, transitions, or emotional closure, something that reflects their inner connection to the energy of Yama. Since all four padas of Bharani fall in Aries, your partner will have a strong fire element in their nature. They will be full of passion and desire. Physical intimacy will be very important to them, and they may have high expectations for emotional and sexual connection in their relationship. At the same time, they may feel easily jealous or possessive if they sense that your attention is drifting. However, they are not the type to panic or become irrational. They will show emotional strength and endurance, and once committed, they are willing to work through relationship challenges with patience. Their creative and charming personality will often be reflected in how they look and carry themselves. They may have an attractive appearance and a flair for art, beauty, or fashion. They may work in creative industries or pursue artistic hobbies. They care deeply about how they connect with their partner, both emotionally and physically, and they place a high value on these aspects of the relationship. To fully understand how Bharani nakshatra influences your spouse, it's important to look at the nature of the Darakaraka planet itself, what planet it is, where it is placed in the chart, and whether it is receiving aspects or conjunctions from other planets. These details will shape how the Bharani energy manifests in your partner's personality. In conclusion, having Darakaraka in Bharani nakshatra brings a partner who is complex, emotional, and spiritually curious. They will be nurturing yet intense, creative yet grounded in deep truths. This relationship can be deeply fulfilling and transformative if it is built on trust, loyalty, and emotional honesty. If your Darakaraka or seventh lord is in Kritika nakshatra, your future spouse will embody a combination of strong fire and earth energies, since Kritika spans both Aries and Taurus signs. Aries brings in the influence of Mars, while Taurus brings the influence of Venus. At the same time, Kritika is ruled by the sun, and its presiding deity is Agni, the god of fire. This unique combination of planetary and elemental forces gives your partner a personality that is intense, passionate, committed, and also highly driven. If Kritika falls in Aries in your chart, your partner will display Martian and solar qualities more strongly. They will have natural leadership abilities, a strong will, and the desire to take initiative in both life and the relationship. These individuals value respect deeply and demand to be treated with dignity. Ego clashes may occur if mutual respect is not maintained, so it is very important for both partners to honor each other's individuality. These people are intuitive, disciplined, and loyal. They might be drawn to fields where leadership and courage are required, such as the military, politics, entrepreneurship, or any profession that involves managing people. Since Kritika is symbolized by a sharp object like a blade or scissors, abrupt events or sudden breaks in the relationship can also happen if the emotional or physical needs are not met or if respect and trust are lost. Their sharp energy means they might speak bluntly or act decisively, so creating emotional balance is key. In this placement, if the sun, the nakshatra ruler, is well placed in your chart, your partner will be full of vitality, loyal, knowledgeable, spiritually inclined, and action-oriented. Their physical presence and charisma will play a major role in the relationship, as Aries emphasizes physical connection and passion. They will seek a partner who supports their goals and respects their inner strength. A deep spiritual connection, physical compatibility, and passionate love will keep this relationship alive and thriving. On the other hand, if your Darakaraka is in Kritika but in the Taurus part, your partner's traits will still carry the fire of the sun but will now be moderated by the grace and sensuality of Venus. This means that your partner will seek stability, comfort, and long-term commitment. They will be grounded, practical, loyal, and determined. Venus adds a touch of romance, beauty, and creativity, making them highly affectionate and also deeply sensual. Their love will be intense and spiritual at the same time, since the sun's influence adds a desire for purity and soul connection, while Venus emphasizes physical intimacy and emotional bonding. Such a person can be very artistic and creative, likely to work in healing professions, counseling, the arts, design, or anything involving aesthetics and intuition. They might also be drawn to fields like psychology, alternative medicine, or spiritual healing. Taurus being an earth sign brings a love for routine, consistency, and material security. Your spouse will work hard to build a strong and stable foundation for the relationship, and they will expect the same level of commitment from their partner. People with Darakaraka in Kritika are often meticulous and sharply observant. They have a strong critical sense and may be very skilled with tools that require precision, such as knives or instruments used in surgery or fine arts. This means they might be chefs, surgeons, engineers, or artists. Their ability to cut through confusion, analyze situations deeply, and point out what needs improvement can make them successful in fields such as banking, management, economics, or law. However, this same critical mindset can sometimes cause friction in relationships, especially if they become too judgmental or sarcastic in communication. It's important for their partner to understand that this analytical nature comes from a desire for clarity and excellence, not necessarily from negativity. Their seductive charm is another striking feature. They naturally take the lead in romantic matters and know how to captivate and engage others. Their energy is magnetic and confident. They're likely to be the kind of partner who wants to build something meaningful, both emotionally and materially. When emotionally low or stressed, they may feel comforted by nature. Being around rivers, beaches, or forests helps them reconnect with their inner calm. Their love for fire, both as a symbolic and literal element, often shows up as a fascination with light, warmth, rituals, or even candles and fireplaces. This connection to fire reflects their transformative spirit and drive to purify themselves through action and devotion. Your spouse will be someone with high goals and the strength to pursue them, and they'll inspire others with their determination. They will bring structure, stability, and ambition to the relationship. However, balancing their critical and sometimes commanding personality with warmth and emotional support is essential to keep harmony. Understanding how the Sun and Venus are placed in your chart, as well as the aspects and conjunctions to your Darakaraka planet, will give a clearer picture of how this energy will manifest. But overall, having a Darakaraka in Kritika nakshatra means your relationship will be full of passion, drive, loyalty, and the powerful potential to grow spiritually and materially together. When your Darakaraka is placed in Rohini nakshatra, a very special kind of energy begins to influence your marriage and relationship life. Rohini nakshatra, ruled by the moon and situated within the earthy sign of Taurus, is deeply symbolic. It's a place of beauty, fertility, sensuality, and emotional depth. To understand this placement, we must first recognize the astrological forces at play. The moon governs Rohini, while Taurus is ruled by Venus. That means this nakshatra is shaped by both lunar and Venusian qualities. The moon brings emotional sensitivity, nurturing, intuition, and receptivity, while Venus adds creativity, beauty, romance, sensuality, and a strong desire for comfort and aesthetic pleasures. So, when the Darakaraka, which represents your life partner, falls in Rohini nakshatra, your spouse will embody many of these characteristics. They will likely be someone who is emotionally expressive, artistic, romantic, and luxurious by nature. They may possess strong creative talents. This creativity could manifest in many forms, through the arts, music, fashion, writing, or design. Rohini is known for its affinity with beauty, art, and refined taste. Your partner may be someone who deeply enjoys being surrounded by beautiful things and may even choose a career path where aesthetics and creativity play a major role. Whether it's painting, music, writing, dance, or any field that demands imagination and expression, they will likely thrive when given the chance to channel their artistic energy. They are also intuitive and emotionally aware. The moon's influence gives them a kind of inner sensitivity that helps them tune into the emotions of others. They can be caring, supportive, and nurturing. In a relationship, they will look for genuine emotional connection and understanding. They don't want a partnership that is cold or purely transactional. They seek warmth, affection, and shared emotional space. They want to both give and receive care in a way that feels mutual and safe. One of the major desires of someone with Darakaraka in Rohini is comfort and luxury in life. This doesn't mean they are materialistic in a negative sense, rather, they enjoy the finer things and value a life that feels abundant and soft. They may be drawn to high-quality experiences, elegant dinners, fine clothing, cozy homes, relaxing environments, beautiful music, and romantic settings. If your fortune becomes tied to theirs through marriage, it's very likely that both of you will share in this pursuit of comfort and prosperity. Provided that the moon and Venus are well placed in your chart, this union can enhance both your lives financially, emotionally, and spiritually. People with their Darakaraka in Rohini also love stability. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, and Rohini falls completely within it. This adds an element of steadiness and loyalty. Your partner is likely to be committed and grounded, someone who prefers long-term commitment over fleeting passion. They are not typically impulsive in love, rather, they build relationships slowly and deliberately, laying strong foundations over time. They want a relationship where mutual support and stability are present, something reliable and long-lasting. This placement also makes your spouse very sensual. Rohini nakshatra is one of the most sensual of all nakshatras. It represents the desire for physical closeness, affection, and pleasure. Your partner will likely crave a deeply intimate bond, not only emotionally but physically as well. They may use touch, eye contact, and presence as ways to communicate love. They might also be drawn to romantic experiences that stimulate the senses, think candlelit dinners, soft music, gentle affection, beautiful surroundings. Keeping the sensual spark alive will be important in this relationship. If the connection becomes too routine or dull, it may impact their emotional fulfillment. Another powerful quality in this placement is seductive magnetism. Rohini nakshatra is naturally attractive, not just physically, but energetically. Your spouse may be very appealing to others, even without trying. They tend to have good looks, soft and alluring features, elegant grooming, and an eye for fashion. They might wear fragrances, dress in attractive clothing, and carry themselves with a certain grace that turns heads. Their charisma is usually subtle but powerful. People may remember them years after just one meeting. They tend to leave a lasting impression. This charm is both a blessing and a challenge. While it makes them captivating, it also means they are admired by many. Maintaining trust and emotional intimacy will be key in your relationship. When you are in a relationship with someone who is Darakaraka in Rohini, it's important to keep the romance alive. They love the thrill and excitement of the early phase of a relationship, the butterflies, the mystery, the discovery. If things become too predictable or dull, they may feel unfulfilled or seek excitement elsewhere, even unconsciously. To maintain the connection, try new experiences together. Keep things playful, adventurous, and emotionally vibrant. Little surprises, shared hobbies, or regular romantic gestures can go a long way. Emotional expression and creative intimacy are key ingredients in keeping the bond strong. Your spouse may also place high importance on family and home life. The moon's nurturing energy makes them naturally family-oriented. They may enjoy taking care of the home, creating a cozy environment, and spending time with loved ones. They value domestic harmony and may go out of their way to ensure the home is peaceful, comfortable, and emotionally secure. They could also be very attentive to their children, parents, or pets, creating a network of emotional support around them. As a partner, they will likely expect the same level of care and emotional investment in return. There's also a practical side to them. While they are dreamy and artistic, they are not disconnected from reality. The fixed earth energy of Taurus ensures that your spouse is grounded and practical. They may value financial security, have a good sense of money management, and strive for a stable lifestyle. They are not afraid of working hard to achieve comfort and success. Their goals may include owning a beautiful home, creating wealth through steady efforts, or simply building a life that feels safe and fulfilling. Emotionally, they are sensitive and loyal. The moon gives them a soft heart, and Taurus makes them steady. Once they commit, they are not likely to back away easily. Their emotional loyalty runs deep, and they take their promises seriously. However, they can also be possessive or stubborn if they feel insecure or unappreciated. It's important to keep communication open and honest, making sure both partners feel heard and valued. When they feel emotionally secure, they will pour their love and attention into you fully. Their charm is not just physical or emotional, it's a blend of all senses. They express love through cooking for you, creating beautiful spaces, giving thoughtful gifts, sharing music, or simply being present with kindness. Their love language may be acts of service or quality time. They enjoy shared experiences that are pleasurable and meaningful. In terms of goals, someone with Darakaraka in Rohini may dream of a life that includes both love and success. They want to build something meaningful with their partner, setting relationship goals, planning for the future, and growing together. They are not looking for shallow or short-term bonds. They want something that grows richer with time. Something they can nurture and protect. Taurus is all about longevity, and Rohini adds the emotional and artistic richness to that vision. Ultimately, having Darakaraka in Rohini Nakshatra means you are likely to attract a partner who is magnetic, nurturing, emotionally sensitive, luxurious, artistic, and deeply loving. They are beautiful inside and out, someone whose energy lingers, whose touch is remembered, and whose love transforms your life. Their seductive charm is not only external, it comes from their heart, their presence, and their ability to create beauty in every space they enter. To fully understand this placement, it's also important to analyze the planet that is acting as the Darakaraka. For example, if it's Venus, the sensual and artistic aspects become even stronger. If it's Moon, the emotional depth and nurturing will be enhanced. The house placement, conjunctions, aspects, and dignity of this planet will give a more complete picture of your spouse's character and the dynamics of your relationship. When your Darakaraka is placed in Mrigashira nakshatra, it suggests that your spouse will embody qualities influenced by both Mars, the ruler of Mrigashira, and Soma, the moon deity associated with this nakshatra. Mrigashira, symbolized by the head of a deer, signifies constant curiosity, restlessness, and an ongoing desire to explore life. Your spouse will likely be someone who is always in search of something new, whether it's new experiences, knowledge, hobbies, or ambitions. This restless pursuit of discovery will keep them mentally and physically active, and it will bring a sense of excitement and unpredictability into your relationship. They will be deeply passionate when it comes to love and will enjoy the thrill of pursuing and being pursued. Even after getting into a relationship, they may find creative ways to keep the excitement alive, such as surprising you with romantic getaways or introducing novelty into the relationship. However, the challenge arises when the initial excitement fades. If things become too routine or predictable, their attention may drift. This means you'll need to put consistent effort into maintaining their engagement and interest. One of the most striking physical features of your spouse will be their eyes, captivating and full of charm. Soma's influence gives them sensuality and emotional depth, and their eyes will reflect that emotional intensity and magnetism. Their gaze might be one of the first things that attract you to them and may continue to play a big part in your romantic connection. Mars energy also makes them adventurous and eager to travel. They are not the type to stick to a mundane routine and will often crave opportunities to break free and explore new environments. Their mind will always be active, and paired with the communicative energy of Gemini, they'll likely be very talkative, engaging, and intellectually curious. Conversations with them will never be dull, and you may find yourself inspired by their knowledge and fresh perspectives. Since Mrigashira spans both Taurus and Gemini, your spouse will display a mix of stability and restlessness. On one hand, they'll crave financial security and the comforts of life. On the other, they will often feel mentally and emotionally unsettled, which might lead them to seek new experiences and stimulation. This combination of groundedness and fickleness can make them both dependable and unpredictable at times. Your spouse may also have a natural interest in real estate or investing in properties. Their inner drive to search and acquire things may manifest in a desire to buy land or homes, seeing these investments as both practical and fulfilling. This tendency to acquire and explore can shape their financial life in a major way. Given their love for adventure and uniqueness, they may not always follow traditional paths when it comes to major life events. For example, they might prefer to elope instead of having a conventional wedding, simply because it feels more exciting and personal. They seek memorable experiences and enjoy doing things differently from others. Despite their wandering spirit, they are emotionally sensitive and can show deep loyalty when they truly care for someone. Soma's influence ensures that they seek harmony in relationships and put effort into keeping the bond fresh and meaningful. They're not afraid of change, they embrace it, and they carry this approach into how they build and maintain love. To gain a complete understanding, it's important to also consider the planet that is your Darakaraka, its aspects, conjunctions, and the house it sits in. This will clarify how these general themes play out specifically in your chart. In summary, having Darakaraka in Mrigashira nakshatra means your spouse will be adventurous, curious, and emotionally dynamic. Their charm, particularly in their eyes, will be magnetic. They will keep your relationship full of movement and energy, needing both physical and mental stimulation to stay engaged. They value comfort, but their restless mind will always push them toward the next exciting discovery. Now, if your seventh lord or Darakaraka is in Mrigashira nakshatra and that nakshatra falls in Taurus, the energy becomes more grounded. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Mrigashira is ruled by Mars. This combination means your partner will be someone who desires committed, serious relationships. They'll be looking for long-term security and will value stability in love. Despite the active, searching energy of Mars, the Taurus influence makes them more practical and grounded in relationships. They may still love adventure, but their primary interest will be in comfort, sensual pleasures, and emotional bonding. This placement also suggests that your partner will be passionate, and physical intimacy will be a very important part of the relationship. Mars brings strong sexual energy, and in the sensual sign of Taurus, this energy finds expression in physical closeness and touch. If there's a strong sensual connection between the two of you, the relationship is likely to be long-lasting and deeply satisfying. Your partner will also want to build a shared future, set long-term goals together, and create a life that is rooted in love and stability. Career-wise, because both Venus and Mars are influencing this placement, your partner could work in artistic fields, creative industries, or any profession that involves the use of technology or intuition. They will be hardworking, determined, and goal-oriented. When they commit to a career or project, they go all in, and the same applies to relationships. Now, if Mrigashira falls in Gemini, the nature of the partner shifts. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so your partner will be much more intellectually driven, curious, and versatile. Early in life, they might face confusion about their career direction or life goals because they have so many different interests and talents. However, if Mercury is well placed in the chart, they will eventually discover their real strengths and focus their energy on mastering a specific field. Your partner will be very intelligent and mentally agile. They may have multiple hobbies or career interests, and they'll enjoy stimulating conversations and intellectual debates. You might find yourself drawn to their cleverness and the way they express themselves. They're likely to be skilled in communication-based careers such as writing, journalism, public speaking, or even painting, anything that involves expressing thoughts and creativity. However, the combination of Mars and Mercury can bring some instability to the relationship. Your partner's mind is always moving, and if the relationship becomes dull, they may lose interest. This is why it's important to keep the relationship alive through shared activities, traveling together, and having fun experiences. Sexual connection and intellectual compatibility will both play important roles in maintaining the bond. In essence, if your Darakaraka or 7th lord is in Mrigashira nakshatra, and the nakshatra falls in Taurus, your partner will be committed, sensual, and grounded. If it falls in Gemini, they will be intellectual, curious, and dynamic, but may need time to find focus in life. In both cases, the influence of Mars ensures they will be action-driven and passionate, while the secondary influence of either Venus or Mercury shapes how that passion is expressed, either through stability and sensuality in Taurus, or through ideas and communication in Gemini. When your Darakaraka is placed in Ardra nakshatra, your spouse will carry a powerful combination of emotional intensity and intellectual brilliance. Ardra is ruled by the shadow planet Rahu and associated with the stormy deity Ardra, which brings a deep emotional and psychological complexity to your partner's nature. They are likely to experience intense mood swings, one moment full of joy, the next deeply sad or angry. These emotional ups and downs may feel like a storm, but behind this volatility is a highly sensitive and passionate heart. They often carry emotional wounds from the past and can be deeply affected by memories of loss, betrayal, or heartbreak. This makes them introspective and sometimes pessimistic. But your love and presence have the potential to heal them. They are extremely romantic, touched by stories of love, poetry, or emotional films. Tears may come easily to them, not from weakness, but from a deep emotional reservoir that seeks meaningful connection. Rahu's influence also gives them a mysterious aura and a strong curiosity about the unknown. They may be drawn toward puzzles, mysteries, or subjects like astrology, occult sciences, or spiritual practices. There is a deep thinker within them, constantly analyzing life and seeking deeper meaning. This makes them excellent researchers, investigators, healers, or even technology experts. Ardra's placement in the sign of Gemini means their mind is sharp, dual in nature, and capable of seeing multiple perspectives. They are naturally gifted in communication, persuasive, and intellectually powerful. Your partner is likely to be independent, preferring moments of solitude to recharge emotionally. Being alone helps them maintain their mental balance, so respecting their need for space is essential. This does not mean they don't care about you, it is part of their emotional well-being. Ardra's symbol is the female dog, so they may feel a deep connection with dogs or wolves. This connection reflects loyalty, protection, and a certain wild spirit that cannot be tamed. Despite their emotional storms, your partner can be very ambitious and forward-thinking. If your Darakaraka or the seventh lord falls in Ardra and especially in Gemini, you will both have high expectations for the relationship. You may dream of traveling the world together, building something big, or sharing meaningful life experiences. Your partner is someone with goals, aspirations, and a desire to explore various paths in life. Their interests are wide-ranging, and they may never settle for routine or convention. They can also be very diplomatic and, at times, appear manipulative or difficult to understand. This comes from their duality, being pulled in more than one direction, and their mind working at a deep and strategic level. At times, you might feel unsure about what they truly want, as their inner world is complex and ever-shifting. Your partner may be someone from a foreign land or culture, or someone with a very different, unconventional worldview. They are not the traditional type. They will never fit into common labels or follow conventional paths. They trust their own logic, their own inner voice, and their observations of the world. Their intelligence is exceptional, and they carry unique insights. They believe in reasoning over emotion and may challenge you to see things differently. If Mercury, the sign lord of Gemini and co-influencer of Ardra, is afflicted in your chart, there may be communication issues or clashes in perspective. Your partner may be so independent and unconventional that misunderstandings or arguments occur if you try to control or suppress their creative freedom. It's very important to understand where they're coming from and allow them to be their unique self. Overall, a partner with Darakaraka in Ardra Nakshatra is emotionally intense, intellectually gifted, mysterious, and deeply unique. They are likely to be spiritually inclined or involved in research, technology, or the occult. They thrive when they feel understood and accepted for who they are. Suppressing their unconventional nature will only create conflict, but supporting their originality will lead to a deeply rewarding and transformative relationship. Understanding, empathy, and emotional intelligence are the keys to navigating this connection. Together, you can experience a bond that is both challenging and profoundly enriching. When Darakaraka is placed in Punarvasu nakshatra, it indicates a partner who is deeply driven and goal-oriented. This person is ambitious and sets high standards for their life, but they may not achieve success on the first try. Their path requires persistence and repeated efforts. This is the essence of Punarvasu, the return of the light, symbolizing resilience and renewal. Your partner will keep trying until they succeed, and it's important for you to support them during the setbacks. Their growth is guaranteed as long as they stay determined. Punarvasu spans across two zodiac signs, Gemini and Cancer. It is ruled by Jupiter, which brings spiritual, ethical, and intellectual qualities. This means your partner is likely to have a strong moral compass. They care about honesty, integrity, and spiritual or religious practices. They are naturally drawn to people who are genuine and live ethically. They dislike manipulation or dishonesty. The influence of Jupiter also gives them a thirst for knowledge and a desire to understand the world more deeply. The Gemini part of Punarvasu brings intellectual curiosity and a love for communication. Most of the nakshatra lies in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, which adds a layer of mental sharpness and communication skills. This makes your relationship depend heavily on open, clear, and honest communication. Your partner might explore different paths in life, whether in career, interests, or relationships, before finally settling down with clarity. That's the return of the light again. After confusion or uncertainty, they find their direction. If Darakaraka or the seventh lord falls in the Gemini part of Punarvasu, the influence of both Jupiter and Mercury makes your spouse mentally agile, curious, and knowledgeable. They will have diverse interests and might change direction several times before committing to one area. Once they find that one path, they will excel. This person could be very intelligent, wise, and a deep thinker. If Jupiter and Mercury are well placed in the birth chart, this partner will do very well in their profession or studies. Early in life, they may feel confused or indecisive, especially about relationships or career. But with time, their clarity grows, and they commit with strength and purpose. In relationships, especially if Punarvasu is in Gemini, travel, shared hobbies, and fun activities are essential to keep the bond strong. Exploring life together, whether through adventures or learning, makes the relationship more exciting and fulfilling. Now, if Darakaraka or the seventh lord falls in the Cancer part of Punarvasu, the moon becomes the sign ruler, joining hands with Jupiter. This combination is deeply nurturing. Your spouse will be caring, loyal, compassionate, forgiving, and emotionally intelligent. They might be very creative, with skills in arts, music, writing, or healing. This emotional and spiritual depth helps them grow through life's challenges and also brings harmony into the relationship. They might have gone through a period of confusion or emotional difficulty early in life, but they eventually find emotional balance, again, the return of the light. Similarly, in your own love life, you may have searched for the right partner for a long time, and when you finally meet this person, it feels like everything falls into place. You find peace, purpose, and clarity through this bond. Your spouse may be deeply intuitive and drawn to fields like psychology, healing, research, spirituality, or the occult. They may be very creative and express their inner world through art. These qualities make them a unique mix of emotional intelligence and spiritual wisdom. They are seekers of truth, often guided by compassion. In a Cancer-based Punarvasu relationship, forgiveness and emotional understanding are vital. Without compassion, there could be emotional ups and downs. But if the relationship is nurtured with care and kindness, it can become very stable and fulfilling. This placement teaches both partners the importance of emotional growth, forgiveness, and mutual respect. In conclusion, having Darakaraka in Punarvasu nakshatra signifies a spouse who is a blend of ambition, resilience, empathy, intelligence, and spiritual depth. Whether their path is intellectual, Gemini, or emotional, Cancer, they carry within them the spirit of renewal. Their journey might not be linear, but their growth is guaranteed. This relationship is likely to be based on deep communication, mutual support, shared values, and the healing power of love and understanding. When Darakaraka is in Pushya nakshatra, it indicates that your spouse will be a deeply compassionate, generous, and nurturing person. This placement gives your partner a strong charitable spirit, making them naturally empathetic and always ready to help others. Because Pushya is ruled by the deity Brihaspati, or Jupiter, your spouse is blessed with good fortune, wisdom, and prosperity. They may often play the role of a mentor, guide, or counselor in your life, using their wisdom, personal experiences, and knowledge to offer sound advice. You may frequently find yourself turning to them when facing important life decisions, valuing their insight and guidance. Pushya nakshatra lies completely within the Cancer zodiac sign and is ruled by Saturn, while Cancer itself is ruled by the moon. This combination creates a beautiful balance between emotional sensitivity and disciplined maturity in your partner. Their nature is deeply caring, emotionally responsive, and highly adaptable. They easily adjust to changing circumstances and often prioritize the needs of the family above their own. Their willingness to sacrifice their own desires for the well-being of others highlights their selfless character. Whether it's in their daily routine or long-term efforts, they constantly strive to nurture and support those around them. The influence of Pushya nakshatra brings abundance, prosperity, and positive outcomes into your married life. This is considered one of the most auspicious nakshatras in Vedic astrology, symbolizing growth, nourishment, and ethical living. Your spouse's strong moral compass and integrity will help keep your relationship on a righteous path, away from destructive or negative influences. They are likely to be intellectually capable and emotionally self-reliant, so they won't be a burden on the relationship. Instead, they offer a stable, loving foundation that promotes mutual respect and emotional security. With all four padas, segments, of Pushya falling in Cancer, the nurturing and empathetic energies are emphasized. Saturn's influence adds structure, responsibility, and a sense of duty, making your spouse both caring and dependable. Their kindness and generosity often attract more abundance, strengthening the overall happiness and success of the marriage. This placement assures that your spouse will be someone who values ethics, emotional well-being, and family harmony, always aiming to create a warm and secure environment. To get a complete understanding of how this energy plays out, you should also examine the planet that acts as your Darakaraka, look at its house placement, conjunctions, and aspects. These will give deeper clarity on the personality and influence of your future spouse. When the seventh lord or the Darakaraka planet is placed in Pushya nakshatra, the results become even more powerful. Since Pushya lies entirely in the Cancer sign, its energy is governed by both the moon, ruler of Cancer, and Saturn, ruler of Pushya. This blend of lunar emotionality and Saturnine discipline makes Pushya one of the most auspicious nakshatras in Vedic astrology. If your seventh lord or Darakaraka is in Pushya nakshatra, check how Saturn and the moon are placed in your chart. If both are well placed, your spouse will be exceptionally caring and responsible. This partner will take their commitment very seriously. And you'll likely experience noticeable growth, prosperity, and emotional nourishment after entering a relationship or marriage with them. Pushya is a nakshatra associated with abundance, so this placement often results in positive life changes post-marriage. Your partner will be someone who believes deeply in compassion, forgiveness, and nurturing energy. However, because of Saturn's influence, they will also expect loyalty and a serious sense of commitment from you. As long as you are loyal and emotionally responsible in the relationship, they will continue to offer their love, care, and unwavering support. But if their trust is broken, especially through disloyalty or irresponsibility, they may withdraw all emotional warmth and affection. Saturn does not tolerate betrayal, so maintaining trust and devotion is crucial. This relationship should be built on mutual respect, emotional care, and shared responsibility. Your partner will likely do very well in careers or fields where Saturn and Moon energies blend, such as fashion, technology, or creative tech industries. They might be highly intuitive, emotionally intelligent, and at the same time, structured and hardworking. Their ability to combine creativity with discipline can lead them to great success. Pushya nakshatra is symbolized by the udder of a cow, representing nourishment. This indicates that your spouse will provide emotional and even physical nourishment in the relationship, supporting you in a way that helps you grow. This nourishment will be mutual, both partners should give and receive care. Building a loving and fulfilling bond, your spouse will likely be a deep thinker, someone with a mature and reflective mind. Their discipline, creativity, and compassion will shape a strong foundation for a lasting relationship. When nurtured with mutual trust and emotional connection, this union promises long-term growth, abundance, and shared purpose. When Darakaraka is placed in Ashlesha Nakshatra, it indicates a spouse who carries a magnetic and hypnotic charm. Their aura is so attractive that it pulls you in almost irresistibly, just like a moth drawn to a flame. Ashlesha is ruled by the Nagas, the mystical serpent beings, so your spouse may have a natural ability to heal or influence others. Their eyes may hold a hypnotic power that captivates and deeply affects you. This magnetism often allows them to subtly shape your thoughts, desires, and even decisions to match their own path. Ashlesha Nakshatra is connected to psychic sensitivity, clairvoyance, and intuitive wisdom. Your spouse will likely possess a heightened awareness of energy and emotion, giving them the ability to protect you emotionally and spiritually. They might sense issues or emotional shifts long before they happen. This gift makes them deeply connected to the unseen, but it also means they can be secretive. Their mysterious nature can sometimes make it hard to fully understand what they're thinking or why they act a certain way. Your partner will likely be highly intelligent and a strong communicator. Their words can have a deep emotional impact, and they may use their communication skills to steer emotions, offer comfort, or inspire you. However, if not managed well, this ability to emotionally guide or even manipulate can feel overwhelming. Still, their cleverness and capacity for deep, intellectual conversation can be incredibly attractive, especially if you value mental connection and insight in your relationship. All four padas of Ashlesha fall in the Cancer sign, enhancing emotional depth, empathy, and care. Cancer's nurturing energy blends with Mercury's sharp intellect, creating a partner who is both emotionally supportive and mentally stimulating. Despite their caring nature, they can also be critical and highly observant in relationships. This combination can lead to an intense understanding of you and the partnership, but also a tendency toward control and possessiveness. Now, When your Darakaraka or seventh lord is in Ashlesha Nakshatra, also known as Ashlesha, this serpent-ruled placement reveals even more about your partner. The symbol of Ashlesha is the serpent, and the deity is the Naga or Nagtithi. Serpents are known for their sting, so this energy can bring a sense of being vengeful or holding on to emotional wounds. Ashlesha is ruled by Mercury and sits in the sign of Cancer, ruled by the moon. So your spouse or relationship will be influenced by both Mercury and moon energies. Your partner will be nourishing, affectionate, and emotionally supportive, but they will also demand loyalty. Fidelity is absolutely essential in this relationship. If betrayed, they are unlikely to forgive easily. They may seek revenge or simply hold on to the hurt for a long time. Because of Mercury's influence, they are mentally sharp and observant. Because of the moon's influence, they are emotional and intuitive. They are loyal to those they love, but they expect that same devotion in return. This placement also brings a strong sensual aspect to the relationship. Cancer, ruled by the moon, makes emotional and sensual connection very important. Ashlesha adds a desire to explore intimacy in meaningful and even playful ways. Your partner may enjoy role-playing or trying new experiences in your sensual life together. Communication is key, talking openly, having fun, laughing, playing together, all these are crucial to keeping the relationship vibrant. Friendship and joy must be part of your connection, not just emotional or physical bonding. If these elements are missing, your partner may feel hurt or betrayed, which can trigger their vengeful side. Your partner may also be very private. They value their own space and may not reveal everything easily. Their intuitive nature allows them to pick up on unspoken feelings and hidden intentions. They may be drawn to fields like healing, psychology, the occult, or any creative or artistic profession. They might work in healthcare, spiritual work, or anything that involves deep emotional or intuitive understanding. These paths suit them naturally, so overall, having Darakaraka or the seventh lord in Ashlesha Nakshatra brings a partner who is magnetic, intuitive, intelligent, and emotionally intense. They offer deep insight, powerful healing energy, and an ability to both challenge and protect you. Their charm and mysterious nature make them unforgettable. But to maintain harmony, loyalty, emotional honesty, and open communication are essential. This is a relationship that thrives on depth, trust, playfulness, and shared emotional and sensual connection.